Okay. My name is Tashari Smith. My life-changing experience happened on the day that was supposed to be the best day of my life, my high school graduation. The day that you finally feel like you're an adult, that you finally feel like you're about to be grown. So on this day, I found out that I was more of a kid than I actually thought. I attended Kenwood Academy on the south side of Chicago, Illinois. My school was more of a fashion statement than academics, but somehow we were one of the top best schools in the States. Every year around graduation, all the female seniors got together and we were together to show that our outfits and our nails and our clothes, just to show like that the school was actually about what we thought it was. So it was really to see who's gonna look the best walking across the stage. So I knew I had to come with the best outfit ever. I had everything planned out. I was gonna get my makeup done by a man named Chanel at 8 a.m. in the morning. My hair straightened by a lady named Samantha at 9:30. They say when you think something is going perfect that it never does. The morning of graduation, I was tired, I was irritable because I was already 30 minutes late. I immediately brushed my teeth, showered, got dressed. I walked in the room and I asked my mom for the keys and she told me that the car wasn't even there. So I was in a mood, I was furious, I was angry. How was I gonna get to my makeup appointment? I was already 35 minutes late. At this point, I knew I wasn't gonna make it to my appointment. And I knew I didn't wanna go to graduation without my makeup done. So my mother was angry at me because I didn't wanna go to graduation and I was making such a big deal out of everything that was going on. Because she already knew that I didn't wear makeup on a daily basis. So she was kind of feeling like, you don't even wear makeup like that. Why is it such a big deal today? Everybody was trying to give me ideas and suggestions, but I just hated them all. I was crying the entire way to graduation because I felt so out of place. I knew I was going to be there, the only one there without makeup, without looking the way that I wanted to look. I went inside my graduation 30 minutes late. I was still crying, I was still furious. I didn't want to talk to anybody. But everybody kept asking me what was wrong, am I okay? But I kept saying no and I didn't want to talk to anybody. So I ignored everyone and I continued to cry throughout the entire graduation ceremony, pulling myself together just to walk across the stage. But it didn't really work out because I was still crying. After the ceremony was over, I rushed outside waiting on my parents and my family to leave to come out. My family came out to embrace me with joyful spirits, but I did not feel the same way at all. I was still angry and I showed the same face that I went inside the graduation with. My mother was crying. She was so disappointed. Like, she felt that why was this such a big deal that I had to get my makeup done? And why would I ruin such a special day to not only myself but my family as well? So I refused to take any pictures with anybody, my friends, my family, my mom, my dad. I didn't want to take pictures with anyone. My mom yelled at me and she walked the opposite way. I ended up getting in the car with my dad. And we had a long conversation on our way back home. And the conversation was really based off of how I could have made myself, how I could have been better and how I could have made the situation better than what it turned out to be. So we took our long ride home, had the conversation, and when I got home, me and my mom and aunt, we went into a heated argument that led to a decision for me leaving for college that same night. I called Miss Heather Tanner, a formal employee at Mississippi Valley State University, and I told her I was on the next flight to Mississippi. And she told me that I needed to slow down, think through my decisions, but I was not trying to hear any of it. So the next morning, I was on the train station waiting on train 59 to Edamina, Mississippi. Even though my mother was so angry with me, she still went above and beyond. She went to the store the previous night and got all the necessities that I needed for school. She went above and beyond to make sure I was good, even though I made her feel like the worst mother ever the day before. And still to this day, I still regret it. So I finally got on the train, and when I finally arrived to Greenwood, Mississippi, it was a 4-hour delay. It was a 16-hour train ride. It was hot. They had no type of air. It was just the worst train ride ever. Once I got to school, Miss Heather Tanner made sure that I was in my room, make sure I was secure, make sure I know my roommate, and make sure that everything was running smoothly. So when I finally got there, I was already homesick. I just wanted to come home. I didn't want to be there. I didn't know anybody, and it just wasn't how I thought it was going to be. After a couple days of not knowing anyone and not having a car and not being able to go where I needed to go, I was feeling a little depressed. I called my mom every day. I wanted to talk to her almost every day. So once I got the feeling that I wanted to go home, I needed to make the decision within myself, did I want to go home or did I want to stay? Because it's the decision that I made for myself. So I decided to stay, and I just feel like it was one of the best decisions that I made for myself, not only for myself, but for my family as well. Because if I would have stayed home, I probably would have got a job or probably would have still been with my mom. But now she has her own space. She's able and free to do whatever she wants to do. And now I feel the same way at school. Like, I feel like, and now that I'm at school, I feel the same way. I feel like I have more freedom than I did at home. I feel like it was just the best decision for me and my family. I was basically in a program called the Summer D program. And it was just a program where you can basically get the college feeling before you actually go off to college. So once the program was over, I was on the first flight back home. I missed my family a lot, and I knew that the decision that I made was going to change my life forever. So without that event happening, I knew that I would have never ended up at Mississippi Valley State University. And I just feel like never let a bump in the road stop you from going where you need to go.